Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. This one about the Browns quarterback situation.
How you doing? It's Buddy in Baltimore, stuck in Baltimore. I have a very legitimate question, so I don't want anyone to think I'm being sarcastic or cynical. And that is, has Jacoby Brissett, has he ever played against a playoff team and played 4 good quarters of football where he outplayed the other team? Just curious. And my second question is a little more far-fetched. If Watson is suspended for the whole year and Jacoby just looks like he doesn't have it and there haven't been any suitors for Baker yet, is there any chance in the world you see the Browns sitting down with Baker and trying to play nice where maybe hopefully both of them could admit that they both made some mistakes that they wish they could take back, and they ask him to be his own greatest agent and play the best ball he can for 1 year and possibly write his ticket for another team? Just wondering if there's even a inkling of a chance of such a thing. All right. Thank you. Have a good one. Go Browns.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Let's start with the back half of that as far as Baker Mayfield goes. I think it's beyond repair. I understand what you're saying. I think it would benefit Baker, but I just don't think there is any way that the Browns and Baker Mayfield will mend those fences that would allow him to play regular season quarterback for the Browns. With that, let's welcome in Jacob Roach from Dog Pound Daily. Jacob, first time on the show. Read your stuff all the time. Appreciate it. What do you think? Let's start with Baker. I don't see any way that they can mend those fences. It just doesn't appear that way. Initially, I thought there might be. It seems like that's way down the river and gone.
Hey, I just wanted to say, first off, I really appreciate you guys having me on. I do watch the show just about every day. I talked about this on my podcast and stuff a couple of weeks ago as the season was ending and stuff like that. It felt like to me, not even without Deshaun Watson coming to Cleveland, I think both the Browns were done with Baker and Baker was done with the Browns. I just don't think at any point, even if it's not Watson, maybe it was Garoppolo or somebody else, I just don't think that either side wanted him to be in Cleveland this season.
Yeah, and the first part of that, Brissett was part of a playoff team, didn't play in the game. It was Phillip Rivers' team. So he really hasn't played significant amount of time. I know you've written an article about this, so let's go into that. What does it look like if it's Jacoby Brissett for all 17 games? So in other words, Watson gets suspended for an entire year, and it's got to be Jacoby Brissett.
It's going to look a lot like 2021. Like the offense will look a lot like the clunky offense that we saw last season. I was looking over this because I was interested. Brissett has 3 career fourth quarter comebacks or game-winning drives. He's only been a starter for 2 full seasons, but he's only got the 3 situations. If you compare his numbers, because this is what a lot of people say, is Brissett doesn't have to be good; he has to be better than injured Baker was last year. If you look at the numbers from Brissett from last year, he played in 11 games and 5 starts. He had a 62% completion as opposed to Baker's 60.5 last year. He had 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions compared to Baker's 17 to 13. So if you look at his career, he's only got 17 interceptions. He's also only got 36 touchdowns. So you're going to see a lot of what you saw last year. That being said, that team almost made the playoffs. They won 8 games, and 3 of those games were started by Case Keenum and Nick Mullins, who are the definition of game-managing quarterbacks. And they almost won all 3 of them. Mullins almost wins that crazy game against the Raiders. And so I think this team is better than the 2021 Browns were minus the quarterback situation. So I think the ceiling is 10 or 11, but they're somewhere between 8 to 10. I think if Brissett's the guy for 17 games.
And, the one thing is Brissett's MO is he usually doesn't hurt you. He usually doesn't turn the ball over. So I think Kevin Stefanski would likely not ask him to do some of the things that he was asking Baker Mayfield to do last year as well.
Yeah, I think that it becomes even simpler. I mean, I know at times that we were very frustrated last year with the simplicity of the game, and they wanted to know where the boot action and play action was that Baker thrived in. I just don't think he was physically able. He has such a violent throwing motion that he just couldn't, with the labrum tear and the broken bone, he just couldn't, contort his body in that sort of way. I think you will finally get what you want, though. I think you'll see Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb on the field together a lot, because that's the only, recipe for success. Brissett's not going to make a ton of mistakes, and he doesn't push the ball vertically a lot, but he can. So you could see a team that just it's simple, a lot of run plays, dink and dunk, and shot plays. It's got enough talent, but it will make you bang your head off the wall sometimes.